Alex Eala's season wasn't over. Not officially, not mathematically, but the version she had imagined during that magical run in Birmingham, that version suddenly felt very far away. Only days earlier, she had stood on a grass court holding the biggest title of her career, smiling through tears as Filipino flags waved across the stands. Everything had seemed possible then. The momentum, the confidence, the dream of arriving at Wimbledon not just as a rising player, but as one of the tournament's seeded names. Now, standing across the net from her friend at Queen's Club, reality looked very different. As the crowd applauded at the end of the match, Iva walked slowly toward the net with emotion already written across her face. This wasn't just another victory. And this wasn't just another opponent. This was Alex Eala, her friend, her former doubles partner. Someone who understood exactly how much this grass court season meant. The handshake was brief. The hug lasted longer. For a moment, neither of them spoke. They didn't need to. Jovic understood the disappointment Alex was feeling because she had lived through painful losses herself. Alex understood that Iva had simply played incredible tennis. That understanding somehow made the moment heavier. Because losing hurts. But losing in front of someone who genuinely cares about you creates a completely different kind of pain. When they finally separated, Jovic leaned forward and whispered something quietly. Only the two of them heard it. Alex responded with a small smile. Not a happy smile. The kind of smile people give when they are trying to accept something difficult. The cameras captured the expression. They never captured the words. And maybe that was for the best. Some moments are meant to stay private. The scoreboard, however, was public for everyone to see. 6-2, 6-2. 1 hour and 16 minutes. A scoreline that looked brutally one-sided. A result that immediately shifted the mood surrounding Alex Eala's grass court season. Because in professional tennis, momentum can disappear frighteningly fast. 1 week you are lifting a trophy. A few days later, you are staring at rankings calculations and difficult questions about what comes next. Back inside the player area, while journalists rushed to file stories about Jovic's impressive performance, Alex sat quietly with her team. No dramatic speeches. No emotional outburst. No excuses. Just silence. And numbers. Cold numbers. The kind that quietly shape careers behind the scenes. Because for all the emotion and excitement surrounding tennis, the sport eventually reduces everything to mathematics. Points earned. Points defended. Rankings gained. Rankings lost. And at that moment, one number mattered more than any other. 163. Those were the ranking points Alex had earned from her strong run in Eastbourne the previous year. Points that had protected her ranking for 12 months. Points that would soon disappear from the system. Her coach pulled up the live rankings on a screen. The glow from the laptop reflected across the room. World number 33.
For now.
But everyone sitting there understood the reality. That number was temporary. Once those Eastbourne points dropped, the ranking would shift. The only question was how much. And more importantly, whether there was still enough time to stop the slide before Wimbledon. For several seconds, nobody said anything. Outside, London traffic moved through the evening as if nothing had happened. Inside, the pressure settled quietly over the room. Finally, Alex broke the silence. What's the situation? Her coach studied the rankings projection carefully before answering. We probably need one more strong result. Not panic. Not disaster. Not hopeless. Just urgency. One more result. One more push. One more opportunity before the Wimbledon cutoff approached. But grass season moves fast. There are very few second chances. No long recovery period. No months left to rebuild momentum. Only a handful of tournaments remain before Wimbledon arrives. And suddenly, every match feels enormous. Alex leaned back in her chair, exhausted, disappointed, but not defeated. Because if Birmingham had taught her anything, it was that tennis seasons change quickly. Very quickly. Only weeks earlier, people had questioned whether she could truly become dangerous on grass. Then came Birmingham. 6 victories. A title. A breakthrough performance that transformed the conversation around her career. That memory mattered now. Because professional tennis constantly tests emotional resilience. One tournament builds belief. The next one tests whether that belief survives adversity. Alex stared again at the rankings projection. Top 32. Still possible. Still within reach. Still worth fighting for. A small smile appeared across her face. Not because she was comfortable, because she was determined. The season was asking her a final question. How badly did she want it? Wimbledon was approaching quickly. The rankings race was tightening, and the margin for error was disappearing. But Alex Eala still had one final opportunity to respond. Not through interviews, not through promises, not through headlines, through tennis. The only language that truly matters in this sport. And that is how Berlin suddenly became much bigger than just another tournament. The invitation felt exciting. The timing felt brutal. Because Berlin was no longer simply part of the schedule. It had become a chance to reset the entire narrative before Wimbledon. A final push. A final opportunity to build momentum again. As Alex arrived in Germany, the atmosphere around her team felt noticeably different from Birmingham. The confidence remained. The belief was still there. But now urgency existed alongside it. Everyone understood the stakes. A strong week could completely change the conversation. A poor week could leave her vulnerable heading into Wimbledon. At the practice courts in Berlin, spectators gathered early hoping to watch Alex train. Some carried Philippine flags draped across their shoulders. Others held handmade signs with messages of support. Top 32. Believe. Laban. The support followed her everywhere now. And with it came expectation. During one practice session, her coach gathered the team briefly. No dramatic motivation. No emotional speech. Just a simple reminder. We're not defending points, he said. We're earning new ones. Alex nodded immediately. That mentality had carried her through every major breakthrough of her career. Not fear. Opportunity. Not pressure. Possibility. Still, Berlin represented one of the toughest challenges of the entire grass season. Everywhere she looked, the field was packed with elite names. Grand Slam champions. Top 10 players. Grass court specialists. Women who had spent years competing exactly where Alex was trying to reach. This was not Birmingham anymore. This was one of the strongest draws on tour. And somehow that felt strangely appropriate. Because Alex Eala's journey has never followed the easy road. Nothing about her rise has been simple. Every ranking jump required sacrifice. Every breakthrough required persistence. Every milestone arrived only after someone predicted she wasn't ready yet. Now, the challenge was clear. Win. Not for headlines. Not for validation. Not to erase the loss at Queen's Club. Win because the opportunity still existed. The dream was still alive. A Wimbledon seed remained possible. Difficult. Complicated. But possible. Across social media, fans and analysts began calculating scenarios constantly. A quarterfinal run might help significantly. A semi-final could completely change the rankings picture. A final run might secure it outright. And a title? That would eliminate nearly all doubt. But tennis rarely follows perfect scripts. Every player in Berlin arrived carrying their own ambitions. Everyone wanted momentum before Wimbledon. Everyone wanted confidence. Nobody was giving anything away freely. The draw promised brutal matches from the beginning. On the eve of the tournament, Alex stayed on the practice court long after many players had already left. The evening sun stretched long shadows across the grass. The stadium lights slowly flickered on. The city became quieter around her. One final basket of serves. One final series of returns. One final hour of preparation. Because somewhere deep inside, Alex understood something important. The loss to Iva Jovic was not the end of her story. It was the turning point. Every important season has one. Every great player eventually reaches a moment when the path suddenly becomes harder. When confidence gets tested. When doubt grows louder. When the destination suddenly feels farther away than it did only days earlier. The real question is never whether adversity arrives. It always does. The real question is what happens next. Berlin would provide the answer. One tournament. One final opportunity before Wimbledon. The rankings were shifting. The clock was ticking, and Alex Eala was running out of time. But champions often produce their best tennis when the pressure becomes highest. Because while the rankings computer only sees numbers, players like Alex Eala still see possibility.